American Son is a new play by Broadway first-timer Christopher Demos-Brown about two parents seeking information about their son in the middle of the night. Directed by Kenny Leon, the play explores timely and timeless themes of racism, identity, and family. Let's reenact the moment that you found out this play was going to Broadway. Did you get a phone call? How did it go?
It's more of a process than a moment. You know, if you wanted to script it, obviously there would be a phone call and I would break down in tears and roll around on the floor and then go see my chiropractor. But it doesn't happen that way. It happens sort of in steps. The first producer that calls you, you kind of, your eyes open wide and you go, oh my God, somebody who wants to produce my play on Broadway just called me.
So what sparked you to write American Son?
It's hard for me to piece together. There are a couple things I remember. I read a book by Ta-Nehisi Coates called Between the World and Me, and he describes the vulnerability that an African-American child has that a white child doesn't have, and that really moved me. In the news, there were several incidents involving African-American children. I just started writing this play based on those things.
Were there specific cases that you were looking at?
The ones that I think were receiving a lot of attention at the time were the cases of Eric Garner, Trayvon Martin, even though that didn't directly involve police. Those incidents in particular, Philando Castile.
Though Demos-Brown, who has so far not given up his day job as a trial lawyer, is new to the New York theater scene, Leon is not. American Son marks the director's 10th Broadway production. He has worked with a bevy of bold-faced names, including Felicia Rashad, Denzel Washington, Viola Davis, Samuel L. Jackson, and more.
I'm looking for a play that I think will have impact on fellow human beings. I want a play to touch someone's heart or their mind, you know. So last year I did Children of a Lesser God, and this year we're doing a timely play about the relationship between the police and young brown boys, and I'm always trying to figure out what is it that we're saying to each other. And I think it's an important story for now because we really need to listen.
Tell me what you learned from Kenny Leon directing this play.
Kenny, I think of now as my new older brother, because he taught me as much off stage as on stage. The first time I walked out the stage door on the first night of previews, there's a crowd of people standing around waiting for all the actors to come out, and before we walked out, Kenny goes, I'm going to introduce you to the crowd, because I think the crowd needs to know who the writer is. So he walked down and he goes, everybody, this is the writer. And all of a sudden I was signing playbills. That's never happened before, ever, ever.
For a writer to capture the authenticity of two African Americans speaking together, one older, one younger, and then to capture a husband and wife who are in an interracial relationship. And I just found that there was authenticity around every corner in terms of the way we talk.
Were you surprised that a middle-aged white lawyer wrote a play where two African Americans could speak to each other so authentically?
No.
Because I think some audience members might be surprised by the race of the playwright.
Because I think some audience members have racial issues.
Maybe.
No, I'm just saying.
That's possible. The play takes place in real time. As Kerry Washington's character Kendra waits for word about her child, checking her phone, looking out the window at the storming weather, the audience waits with her. The director says the tension is in the pauses.
The pauses have to count. We know those 3 or 4 places where we can sit and not say anything. It was important to me to have the 5th character, which is the elements. So the rain and the lightning, and I have the actors plan the rain and the lightning, you know, and I want them to move through it the way we move through life, and sometimes we don't say anything. In one scene, Carrie asked Stephen a question, and he doesn't have an answer, and I love that moment. Beat, beat, beat.
This play is hyper-realist realism. It is a straight-ahead, real-time drama. That's its theatricality, which is its own type of theatricality.
Chris Demos-Brown is a combination of Langford Wilson, August Wilson, and Lorraine Hansberry. In terms of crafts, he has a little bit from all of those writers. That impressed me. I was surprised Not that he was a white American. I was surprised that, that this was his first Broadway play.
With the play being so topical, how is it affecting your audience members?
Most people, I think, come out gut punched, which is what I want. I've heard audiences applaud one character's line and then the next second applaud another character's line when they're expressing completely opposing points of view. What I gather from that is that people understand that it's possible to be both right and wrong at the same time when we're dealing with issues that are deeply affecting and deeply important to us both personally and politically. Your being right or wrong isn't as necessarily as important as your understanding and being kind.
I think it's a beautiful play about love of country, love of family, and love of community, and what happens when we listen to each other.